So today's lesson is on idioms and common English expressions. And the objectives of the lesson are for you to know what is an idiom, to understand the importance of idioms and why we need to learn them when we're learning a new language. Why do we need to learn idioms? The objective of this lesson is also for you to learn a few idioms and to become familiar with them. Sorry. Another objective is that when you learn these idioms, you should become familiar with them and you should be able to guess their meaning. So even if you see a new idiom that you haven't seen before, you should be able to guess what it means. And then you should also be able to use it in a sentence. When you speak or when you write, you should be able to use these things. So what is an idiom? An idiom is a group of words. Usually it's like a sentence or an expression that is established by usage as having a meaning not deducible from those of the individual words. So what that means is an idiom is a sentence or an expression that if you take every single word of that expression and you try to understand it, it doesn't make sense. As it is, it doesn't make sense, but it's like, it's a custom almost that people of a certain culture or people who are used to that language will know what it means. Donc, en français, un idiome, en français, on dit une expression idiomatique. Donc, une expression idiomatique, c'est une expression qui est propre à une langue, qui n'a pas forcément d'équivalent littéral dans d'autres langues. Donc, c'est des choses qu'on ne peut pas vraiment traduire dans une autre langue. Par exemple, si on dit mettre la main à la pâte, si je dis ah, il va falloir mettre la main à la pâte, on sait tous que mettre la main à la pâte, ça veut dire contribuer, ça veut dire s'impliquer, ça veut dire se mettre au travail. Mais on ne va pas traduire ça en anglais en disant put your hand to the batter, parce que ça n'a pas de sens. It doesn't make sense. La même chose pour avoir la tête dans les nuages. Donc, on dit de quelqu'un qui a la tête dans les nuages que bon, c'est un rêveur ou c'est quelqu'un qui n'est pas vraiment réaliste, ce genre de choses-là. Donc, quand on parle français, c'est des expressions courantes en fait. On sait ce que ça veut dire, mais pour quelqu'un qui apprend le français, il ne saura pas nécessairement ce que ça veut dire et il ne pourra pas le traduire dans sa langue de base. Et c'est la même chose pour les idioms en anglais, c'est que quand on apprend la langue, les anglophones ont ces expressions-là qu'ils utilisent entre eux, ils savent ce que ça veut dire, mais pour nous qui apprenons la langue, on ne sait pas forcément ce que ça veut dire. Et donc, on doit se familiariser avec ça, on doit essayer de connaître le maximum et de les étudier pour pouvoir aussi deviner, une fois qu'on entendra une telle expression, on pourra imaginer ce que ça veut dire, même si on ne l'a jamais entendu avant. Donc, c'est un peu ça le but de la leçon aujourd'hui. So, why do we need to learn idioms? Like I was saying, when you learn a new language, it's important to know these expressions because if you don't, you will be lost in a lot of conversations. You can be in a conversation, your English can be perfect, your grammar can be perfect, and then someone will say something and you'll sit there and be like, what is he talking about? What is she saying? But when you know idioms, when you learn them, you have a broader understanding of the language. So you can understand, you can take part in more conversations, you can read things, and you will understand. It won't feel like you're lost a lot of the times. Another reason is because it gives you a bigger range of vocabulary. Usually the words that are in idioms are not words that you would normally use in a sentence. But when you learn the idioms, it broadens your vocabulary. It gives you additional sentences and things that you can pull from to create your speech, to speak and to have a conversation. You have various ways of expressing yourself. You don't have to always use the same things. You can then switch and change every now and then. Also, when you use them, when you've learned them and you start using them, you sound more natural when you speak in the language. So your sentences and your expressions are not so strict. you're not able to use common sentences and common expressions that other people use, and so it feels more natural to you, and it feels more natural to the people that you're speaking to. So let's look at some idioms. The first one is a blessing in disguise. So in a sentence, someone will say, I lost my job last year, but really it was a blessing in disguise. What it means is, and this one is easy, you can guess, it means that it's a good thing. It's something that is, it looks bad at first. When you hear it or when you apprehend it, it may seem bad, but it turns out to be something positive. It turns out to be a good thing. Another one is to beat around the bush. So you can say, I was talking to my brother last night, and I could tell he wanted to say something important, but he just kept beating around the bush. To beat around the bush is when you're speaking and you have something to say, you don't say it directly, but it's almost like you hesitant and you try to use other words instead of just going straight and saying what you want to say. So it's usually when it's a sensitive topic, if someone has died, or if it's a bad news that you're about to give the person, you don't just go, oh, by the way, your mom died. You have to, you know, c'est comme en français on dira utiliser des pincettes, ou prendre des pincettes. So that's what beating around the bush is. Better safe than sorry. You know, usually people would say, I don't know if I should double check. I think I closed my door this morning, but I'm not sure. Maybe I should double check because, you know, better safe than sorry. That's how you would use it in a sentence. And better safe than sorry is this idea that it's always better to be cautious, to double check, to take your precautions, than to deal with the consequences of not doing that. I think there's an equivalent in French as well. Right now I'm forgetting what it is, but mieux vaut prévenir que guérir. Voilà. So that's a little bit, but if you translate it directly, it wouldn't be the same thing. Break a leg is an expression that people English people use to say good luck. So for example, if you know someone is writing an exam, or yeah, usually it's like you're writing an exam, you have a big presentation, you're going for a job interview. Instead of saying good luck, they'll say break a leg. I don't know why, but it's an expression. Calling it a day, call it a day. An example would be, let's just call it a day. I'm tired, we've been trying to get this computer to work and it doesn't work, let's just call it a day. Call it a day means that's it. Like, I'm giving up, we ending this now. It's like, I'm done for today, let's call it a day. Another expression, another idiom is get out of hand. When things get out of hand, it means that you can't control them anymore. So, oh, I was there and it was really bad. Things really got out of hand. It means things escalated to a bigger situation and it got worse and it got out of control. It's something that I couldn't do anything. It got out of hand. Hanging there means just don't give up. It's like, I know it's hard, man, but just hang in there. I know it's difficult, but you have to just get in there. Hang in there, sorry. So hanging in there is like, accroche-toi en fait. It's like, don't give up, it's be patient, it's hang in there. It's not rocket science. People say that something is not rocket science when it's like, it's not complicated. Like, you can do this by yourself. I mean, it's not rocket science. That's an example. It's not rocket science. It's not complicated. It's not that hard. You don't need to be smart to do it. It's something anybody can do. It's not rocket science. Pulling someone's leg it means joking with someone. So let's say if I'm making a joke with you and I'm telling you that, oh, the police, I don't even know, like someone called me last night and they're looking for you. The police is looking for you. And now you're scared and you're like, what did I do? And then I'm like, oh no, I was just joking. So instead of saying no, I was just joking, You can say, "Ah, I was just pulling your leg." It's an expression. Put yourself together, pull yourself together. Pulling yourself together means calm down, and I put it there that it means, en français, ressaisis-toi. It's like when you're nervous, when you're panicking, when something is happening and you just being anxious, someone can be like, "Hey, pull yourself together." It's like, calm down, okay? Pull yourself together, please. Okay? I have another set of idioms, another 10. So I selected what I think are the 20 most common yet unusual idioms that you may find in the English language. So under the weather, when someone says, "Oh, I'm just under the weather today, I don't know what's happening, I just feel under the weather," it means that I'm sick or I don't feel well. It can be that I'm sick, or it can be like, I'm just having a bad day, I don't feel well. You say, "I'm under the weather," or "She's been under the weather lately. I don't know what's going on with her," but it means she's been acting like she's sick, or she doesn't feel well. You can say that again. Imagine you're telling a story or you're speaking and then you say something and someone is like, "Oh, you can say that again." Do not say it again. It doesn't mean say that again. It just means that the person agrees with you. It means like, "I know, right? You can say that again." C'est un peu comme ce serait peut-être l'équivalent en français de il y a même, ça n'existe même pas en français. Ce serait peut-être si quelqu'un dit quelque chose de vraiment pertinent. Non, c'est en anglais. Pardon? Ah, j'ai cru que quelqu'un avait dit quelque chose. Il n'y a pas vraiment d'équivalent, mais c'est genre, ouais, je t'assure, ou bien vraiment. Like, c'est pour montrer que tu es d'accord avec ce que la personne a dit, mais sans dire je suis d'accord. Your guess is as good as mine. It means I have no idea. So when someone asks you a question and they're like, when do you think we going back to school again? Or when do you think kids will go back to school again? If you have no idea, you can say your guess is as good as mine. English speaking people also say a picture is worth 1,000 words. And that's just to say that sometimes it's better to show than to try and explain. Like if you're trying to explain a situation, you might use 1,000 words and still not be able to explain it. But if you show someone the picture, instantly they'll get it. So that's an expression to talk about that and say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Adding insult to the injury is when you do something bad to someone, or you create a situation that's really bad, and then you do something else and you just make it worse. When you first did something bad and then you add something else that's bad and makes the situation completely wrong, you say that it's adding insult to the injury. Birds of a feather flock together is an expression that it exists in French. In French we say qui s'assemble se ressemble. So it's to say that, yeah, people who look alike or who have similar taste in things usually tend to be together, they tend to be friends, they tend to, spend time together. Bite off more than you can chew. They say that you're biting off more than you can chew when you start a project or you start something, you work on something, or you make the decision to do something, but it's clear that you can't do it, or you won't be able to complete it, you won't be able to finish it, you're not going to be able to handle it. It's like, I think you're biting off more than you can chew with that one. By the skin of your teeth. That is to say when you do something and then you barely make it. So it's like almost you didn't make it. Let's say right now there's a curfew, right? Well, I think the curfew has been lifted, but let's say there's a curfew. You know what a curfew is? Curfew is couvre-feu. So right now there's a curfew. Let's say you went outside and then the curfew is at 6 p.m. So you have to rush at home. And then let's say you get home and it's like 5:59. So it was like 1 minute before 6. So it's like you just made it by this much. They say that you made it home. You say that, oh, last night I made it home by the skin of my teeth. It's to say that it was really close for it to just go horrible. Cost an arm and a leg. You would say that my colleague bought a new car last week and that car cost him an arm and a leg. That means it was really expensive. En français, on dira ça m'a coûté la peau des. In English, they say it costed an arm and a leg. To say that something is really, really expensive. And then the last one that I could think of was raining cats and dogs. This is a very English thing to say, and by English I mean people in the UK, in England, they say this a lot. It's raining cats and dogs. Oh, yesterday it was raining cats and dogs. It doesn't mean that there are cats and dogs falling from the sky. It just means that it's a very heavy rain. You know, when it rains and it's like a big, heavy rain, they say it's raining cats and dogs. In French, you would say il pleut des cordes, for example. So that's it for today. I prepared a few activities for you. I want you to guess the meaning of these idioms and common expressions. So the first one is an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And this one, you don't really need to use it in a sentence. As itself, people use it like it is. Couch potato, an example would be, oh, my brother doesn't do anything with his life. He's just such a couch potato. Or take 5. I can say, you know what, guys? Let's take 5. Let's take 5. How would I use once in a blue moon? I could say, I go to the movies once in a blue moon. Or I go to the dentist once in a blue moon. And then to be on cloud 9, I can say that since last week or for the past few days, I've just been on cloud 9. So who has an idea of what these things mean? Who wants to try to guess what it means? Guys, come on, try. Or you can choose another one. You can choose another one. Vous pouvez choisir n'importe laquelle.
To take 5.
Yeah.
Prendre le 5, non?
Oui, si on traduit littéralement, ce sera prendre 5. Pardon?
Prendre 5.
Prendre 5.
Prendre 5, oui.
So to take 5 is like to take a break. So the full sentence will be, let's take 5 minutes break. Let's take a 5 minutes break. Donc, prenons une pause de 5 minutes.
Okay.
Mais l'expression en anglais, ils vont juste dire, let's take 5, take 5. Donc, ils diront, c'est comme si en français, on disait juste, OK, prenons 5. Donc, au fil du temps, c'est devenu une expression. Mais quand on entend prenons 5, ça veut juste dire, prenons la pause, prenons 5 minutes de pause. Et des fois, ça peut être plus long. Pardon?
Give me 5.
Give me 5, c'est aussi une expression. Give me 5, c'est high five. So, si je dis give me 5, c'est pour dire, fais-moi une tape dans la main comme ça. Give me 5. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, I want to try with the sentence,
yeah.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Okay.
I think it means, when I don't know if I can translate it in vaut mieux prévenir que guérir.
Yes, ça à peu près, ça a le même sens en effet, que vaut mieux prévenir que guérir. Mais c'est encore plus spécifique que ça dans le sens où, je dirais plutôt que ça veut dire qu'il vaut mieux manger sain que d'aller chez le médecin.
Yes, yes.
Donc,
Faut-
voilà. Donc, ça a le même sens, en fait, effectivement, qu'il vaut mieux prévenir que guérir, mais c'est beaucoup plus dans le sens de c'est ton alimentation qui détermine ta santé ou qui est plus importante qu'aller chez le médecin.
Mhm.
Voilà.
Clair.
Cool. Quelqu'un d'autre veut essayer une autre expression? So to take 5 is to take a break. An apple a day keeps the doctor away is to say that it's better to eat healthy than to go to the doctor all the time. Someone wants to try couch potato? Or do you want me to just say it? Okay, I'll just say it then. So a couch potato, you know what a couch is. Couch, c'est le fauteuil, le canapé. And potato is a potato. So when English people say couch potato, c'est un mot, c'est une expression qui est utilisée pour décrire ces personnes-là qui passent leur vie devant la télé. Assis sur le canapé, en train de manger peut-être des chips. Donc, on dira que, oh, ma soeur, c'est une couch potato. Mon frère, c'est un couch potato. This guy is such a couch potato. It means it's someone who spends their time in front of the TV, just sitting on the couch all day. That's what it means. Another one, once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, I don't even know how to say it in French, but once in a blue moon, it means like it happens very rarely. It's like I go to the dentist once in a blue moon. C'est pour dire que c'est quelque chose on le fait, mais vraiment une fois tous les 1000 ans. Je sais même pas comment dire ça en français, ce serait à la Saint-Guinguin. Que oui, ça, c'est des choses qui arrivent vraiment, mais très rarement. Parce que la lune ne va jamais être bleue, en fait. La lune ne sera jamais bleue. Donc, si on dit que ça ne se fait que vraiment une fois que la lune est bleue, ça veut dire que c'est quelque chose que vraiment tu ne fais jamais. Donc, si quelqu'un te dit que tu nettoies ta maison que once in a blue moon, c'est une injure. Ce serait de te dire que ma fille, tu n'es pas très propre. Donc, once in a blue moon is something that happens really rarely, once in a while. And then being on cloud 9, je pense que ça on peut imaginer. Being on cloud 9 means being really, really happy, really excited. So, depuis qu'elle s'est mariée, elle vit elle vit dans les nuages en fait. Elle vit, c'est pour dire que vraiment elle est heureuse, elle vit la belle vie. Elle n'est pas avec nous sur Terre en fait. Elle est on cloud 9. She's on cloud 9. Pardon?
Elle est sur un nuage.
Elle est sur un nuage, exactement. Donc voilà ce que ça veut dire.